Brad Miller here, flybass.com, and I'm going to talk a little bit about rod weight selection today. And you know, what weight rod do you want to get based upon what type of fishing you're going to be doing? And I guess I'll start out by saying, if you're going to be fishing small stream trout, panfish, stuff like that, local waters that are relatively small and maybe somewhat confined, I guess I'd recommend that you look at a 4 or 5 weight rod, something like that, and then match that up with the same weight line. A lot of people espouse overlining, if you've heard the term. So if you've got a 4 weight line, they'll say put 5 or 6 weight line on there. I think that's more of a function of people that can't cast very well. So regardless of what type of a rod you get, what weight rod you get some good line and practice your casting, number one. If you're going to be fishing a wide variety of different types of things, let's say you're going to be fishing trout in your home waters, small brushy streams. Let's say you're going to take a trip out to Montana, you're going to be fishing some more wide open type country, then a 5 weight rod would probably be your best bet, because that's going to hold up pretty well on larger rivers, and even if you've got some wind. Now, let's say, for example, that you want to start going after largemouth, smallmouth bass, northern pike. Maybe you even want to sneak down to the Caribbean or something and go after some bonefish, baby tarpon, fish like that. Then, in that case, you're going to probably want to look at an 8 weight. If you're going to have 2 rods, in my mind, the 2 best rods to have would be a 5 and an 8 weight. With an 8 weight rod, you can handle all the fish that I just mentioned. Plus, if you go to Alaska, that's a perfect rod for Alaska silvers and that kind of thing. If you're in Alaska and you're fishing stream trout, you can use your 5. If you're in Alaska and you're fishing kings, you can beef it up a little bit if you want to, if you're running into 25, 35 pound fish. But you'd be surprised what you can do with an 8 weight on these. So if you're going to have 2 rods, get a 5 and an 8 weight. Now, for those of you that want to fish a wide variety of different types of fish, and you can only afford to have 1 rod, or you want 1 rod that'll fit most circumstances most of the time. In that case, this happens to be a 6 weight, and this happens to be an Aurelius from Maxon that we sell on flybass.com. The unique thing about this particular 6 weight, which I really like, it's the only 6 weight I've seen with a fighting butt on it. Almost all the rods that you look at from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 do not have a fighting butt. And then generally from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so forth, they've all got a fighting butt. But this is one of the only 6 weights I've seen that has a fighting butt. So if I was going to choose 1 rod that I had to have in the car for anything I might encounter, I'd probably use a 6 weight rod. It'll work for trout, it'll work for panfish, might be a little overpowering for some of the smaller fish, that's okay. It'll cast well in the wind if you're encountering windy situations, and should work fine for bass and some larger fish. The big difference is with a 6 weight with larger fish is that you can't put the hurt to them like you can with an 8 weight. Most of us like to fight the fish in as fast as possible and release them in good shape so we can catch them again another day. And it just takes a little bit longer with a lighter rod. So you're going to have 2 rods, probably a 4, 5, and an 8. You're going to have 1 rod, get a 6 weight. And you can find them on flybass.com. Brad Miller. Hey, thanks for listening. We'll see you later.